So I am doing my worst of the year. So I'm going to start off with number 5. 5 is Taken 3. I can't remember a lot about this movie because there just wasn't a whole lot there. The action scenes weren't really good. They were boring. I can't really remember them. It was slow. It kind of dragged on. I mean, it was in a continuation of the Taken series. This time he's getting hunted down because he's a CIA agent, and they think he committed a crime. He murdered some people in the States, and so he's on the run, and he's trying to prove his innocence. In the other Takens, they were great action scenes. I mean, they weren't spectacular movies, but they did the job that they were supposed to do. Moving on to number 4. This was the same thing, except it didn't have the redeeming qualities of Liam Neeson. And I really can't remember the action scenes either. And that's what it was there for, but it didn't do its job. It was kind of it was a hacker movie. It was about this program that I don't even remember because I really don't care, but it had something to do with, like, it was a threat to world security, and there was one guy who created it. Well, there were two guys who created it, and they had to pull this one guy out of prison. He was a master actor. That's Chris Hemsworth. And they did some weird stuff with his character. I mean, I personally didn't like his character. He didn't play it well in this movie. I don't think it was his fault, but I didn't really like this movie. It wasn't good. The action scenes weren't great, and that's kind of what it was stemming off of. Even though it was a hacker movie, and they didn't do a whole ton of that. It was just kind of a lot of running around. There was a cool scene at the end with these, like, torches, but that's it. But I don't. That scene had some flaws too. Third worst movie of the year. Pitch Perfect 2. This movie is about a team at a college of a cappella singers. For those of you who don't know what a cappella is, it's music where you just use your voices. So they a lot of times will do covers. They can do original songs, but a lot of times they'll do covers, and like where you thought that where the instruments were in the actual song is their voices covering it. And so they compete, and they've got like national titles and stuff, this team, because it's after the first one. The first one is whereas this girl came into an a cappella team and kind of turned it around. And then now they're there and they got suspended. This is like in the first 10, 20 minutes of the movie. They got suspended for something, and so they're going to the world competition, and they made a deal that if they do win, then they get reinstated into the organization that runs the National A Cappella Group for the college association or whatever. And I thought that this movie was bad. It was extremely cheesy comedy, and a lot of it was just plain awkward, and I didn't find it funny. Now, I'm not a big guy for dumb comedy, but this was an exception to me. It felt like it wouldn't hit with anyone, and I didn't enjoy this movie. And I mean, the plot, I guess, was okay, but let's move on to number 2. Number 2, I almost put this as my number 1, but I didn't because it had redeeming qualities to it. It's Pixels. And if it was any other subject, I probably would not have put it on my worst, but it just had so much potential, and it failed miserably. This movie is about how they sent a box of stuff into space so aliens can find it and learn about them and stuff. It was like a signal thing, but had gaming. It had arcade games in it from the 80s because that's when they sent it out. And it had some other stuff, but the aliens intercepted it and thought it was a declaration of war. And so they started to attack our planet, and they played the game. We had to play the games. Our planet had to play the games that they sent up there. And there were 3 of them. It was Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Centipede. And the reason I don't like this movie is because the potential was so wasted, because I grew up playing arcade games like this, like the old Nintendo stuff. Like I've played the Donkey Kong that they have on there. I mean, my grandma has it on her NES. Her Nintendo Entertainment System, that's what it's short for. And then I would play other old arcade games. I had an Atari at one point. I think it's like one of those old flashbacks, so it's crappy. But I liked this game system so much, because if there was any game that I was actually going to play, it was going to be one of those, or a portable, because I'm a really big portable guy. You know, I have a Game Boy Advance, and that's kind of older too. Not quite to that level, but people don't really play Game Boys anymore. So, and Adam Sandler was a terrible actor. I thought Kevin James was okay. I mean, people hate him, and I can't completely understand it. But I thought he was great in King of Queens. So, and I like him, but I don't like Adam Sandler. He was terrible, and they had this weird love relationship thing in the Pixels, and I thought it just took a lot away from the movie. My number one worst movie of the year is Hot Pursuit. It had what I was talking about before, the awkward comedy crap, but it took it to a whole new level. All the stuff didn't work. It was weird and kind of gross and perverted, some of the stuff they did. And I can't remember if it was R or not, but it didn't do anything that was like really, really to that point. But it was, and I didn't think the jokes worked on any level. Kind of supposed to be an action movie, and it didn't really ring. This was just an absolutely terrible movie. So anyways, that's it. I should be coming out with a best soon. So please like, comment, subscribe. Please comment what you thought of these movies, what you thought of my video in general. But I want to know what you think of my picks, like whether or not they deserve to be on this list. Please just hit that subscribe button. This isn't confirmed. When I hit 100, I'll do a Q&A. So, but that's a long way off. So just please hit the subscribe button. I've been kind of sitting in one place for a while. It's starting to move up more, but I want it to move more. Anyways, that's it. See you guys later. B-Dog out.